Hi, I'm Justin King, a product manager at Dell Technologies, and I work in the integrated solutions team, delivering solutions around AI and analytics. And I'm going to talk today about unlocking AI for everyone in the enterprise. So enterprise organizations have been looking to get more involved with AI. They've understood what AI can do for them and drive better business outcomes. But how do they implement that? How do they execute on that? And that's really part of my team has been working on is how to help customers get started with AI, build on AI, or even put standardization around this. But as these organizations use virtualization for their data centers today, how do I expand that to include AI workloads? AI workloads can be challenging and very complex, and we can get more into that discussion. But my team has been working as part of Dell Technologies with NVIDIA, with VMware, to help democratize AI. And by doing so, delivering enterprise-ready validated designs for AI that can give you the groundwork to understand what goes into an AI environment, how do I validate that AI environment, and how do I grow that AI environment? Why NVIDIA? Well, NVIDIA is the leader in enterprise AI. It pioneered accelerated computing to tackle challenges that ordinary computers cannot. This requires more than just a powerful chip. And NVIDIA achieves this with incredible speed ups by investing in research and engineering for the full solution stack. The creation of CUDA programming helps NVIDIA with their leadership of AI and data center GPU platforms through parallel processing to general purpose computing. And more than 2,000 applications today are accelerated utilizing NVIDIA frameworks and libraries and hardware components. VMware is the leader in enterprise virtualization. The virtualization technologies have evolved and now support containerization. They're the leaders in cloud infrastructure, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. They have immense security measures, and they are used by 99% of enterprise customers throughout the industry. But AI is now achievable, and every enterprise is looking to integrate AI into every aspect of their business. HR departments want to use it for talent acquisition, scanning resumes based on job profiles to shortlist the best candidates. Marketing and sales want to determine pricing and demand forecasting. IT wants to detect cybersecurity threats and fraud in real time. And we've all interacted with virtual assistants and chatbots. This is all powered by AI. But it's not just an application you download and run. There is no one size fits all. And to enable the enterprise with the tools they need to build and deliver AI outcomes requires an understanding of how the enterprise operates today. The challenges with AI are seen here in this top row. AI is complex. Architecting a new AI solution consists of software, which means vendor selection, hardware requirements, and then a proof of concept. And this can take several months. Why? Because each vendor focuses on its own piece. There is no integration between hardware and software. Your team must know servers, GPUs, networking, security, storage. In addition, virtualizing GPUs is largely a manual and complicated, time-consuming task. We haven't been able to take full advantage of our data, and the results are too slow. Data is growing at an astronomical rate, and it's impossible to take full advantage of it manually to get insights. The speed of AI-driven automated image and pattern detection can help provide faster insights like prediction or anomaly detection. And we don't have the in-house expertise for AI. AI and related technologies are complex. As I just discussed, emerging quickly, trained and experienced staff is hard to come by, and many organizations have not had the time to develop the in-house skills required to succeed with AI, ML, and DL. And unfortunately, this may become evident only as you attempt to move AI applications from those proof of concepts into production. It's no surprise that 87% of AI projects never make it to production because of the frameworks and the skill sets needed to support these environments. But what defines an AI enterprise platform? Well, we're looking to drive AI outcomes like machine learning operations, auto ML, edge inferencing, and then we have our vertical AI apps targeting different verticals and use cases. But to get all of this, working with NVIDIA AI, we have the AI and data applications already available We have GPU virtualization and infrastructure optimization, as well as performance scaling coming from NVIDIA. Sit all of this on top of a VMware platform, we're able to take benefit of the Tanzu containers and the virtual machines and be able to deploy easily and rapidly and isolate at the same time, providing redundancy and recoverability all in one platform. And then this all has to run on hardware. Working with Dell Technologies, we provide the right PowerEdge servers, the right configurations. We take those PowerEdge servers, we can build appliances out of those so that you can build or buy. And connecting it with the AI data lake, PowerScale system, gives us the foundation of what an enterprise AI platform should be. Having these hardware components integrated with NVIDIA GPU, ConnectX, SmartNICs, and Bluefield DPUs, we're able to offer a platform that can deliver the enterprise AI platform. So these are the areas that we really need to cover. But a few other areas that we also need to understand is that the data center is changing. Today, we've typically siloed those AI workloads, whether it's through inferencing or training. Those data scientists, data engineers are separate from anything else in the organization. And that's just how traditionally the data center has been structured and evolved. But as we move forward, we need to kind of merge all of this together into a unified, accelerated data center, which provides the dynamic ability to be able to proposition a workload and have the infrastructure take care of the resources that are needed. So I could deploy a solution that needs fast access to storage, it needs GPU. The platform will find or connect the right components to make that work. And we don't need to manage this separately and siloed, which escalates the amount of hands-on management needed to deliver such a unified accelerated data center. Keeping it simple and allowing the platform with its features found in software to deliver this really help grow an AI platform requirements. What about the types of GPUs? A lot of new GPUs out there today. The Ampere line of GPUs brings a whole bunch of new features. We have our top of the range A100. This is used for scientific research, deep learning training clusters. We have the A30, which is a lower capacity general purpose compute GPU. This is good for natural language processing with the likes of conversational AI and recommendation systems. We step over to the network side. We obviously need fast access to our data. Using ConnectX-6 allows us with a few components that help optimize and guarantee that quality of service. And then more advanced, we get Bluefield 2 DPUs, where we can offload some of the environment networking as an example, and be able to isolate and accelerate this independently of the server itself. So having an idea of which GPUs to use and when is needed as we build this platform. And then ultimately, am I going to build this myself? I have all the components I need, and I may need a more advanced configuration to what the recommendations out there, or am I just getting started? Maybe I want to just buy the whole thing as one and take an appliance potentially. So from Dell's perspective, working with VMware and NVIDIA, we want to provide both options here. And so what we've done is come up with a Dell Technologies validated design for AI. And this really touches base on customers that are VMware customers today, and that they too can now expand workloads to be AI emerging workloads with the use of accelerators and SmartNICs. We can also target net new customers to AI just getting started, or I want to be able to continue a standardization throughout my company. That's a perfect use case for this validated design as well. And so with the work that my team and engineers have done, we've created an element of learning about the environment. What do I need to know? What it is, what are the components, how do they work together? We've created a technical white paper. We've then gone through and completed a design guide. These are publicly available. And this design guide takes all of the decision-making out of the process, so we've done the grunt work for you. If you follow our designs, you'll be able to get up and running confidently and have your workloads available much sooner than trying to figure this out yourself. And coming soon, we're working on an implementation guide so that you can go from bare metal to fully validated AI environment, and that's coming very soon. But these validated designs, they are end-to-end AI platform. We test and validate the entire process and build best practices and optimizations into that. We then provide building recommendations around t-shirt sizing. Maybe I just want a bare minimum environment to get up and running, a 3-4 node environment with GPUs, maybe all that I need to get started. Or I may need a mainstream environment. What does that look like? Or a higher performing environment. So we build these t-shirt sizings as part of that. And then we're able to provide a selling mechanism for PowerEdge servers, VxRail appliances, and PowerScale storage as a single SKU. Alternative to the VxRail, we can have more advanced configurations with more GPUs if necessary, using R750XA as an example. But they get a little deeper into the recommended configurations. I'm not going to read this word for word, but you can see where we go in and we optimize the CPU, the memory, the networking. As we get into the higher performance, we go from ConnectX 5 up to ConnectX 6 to get that faster access to the storage. We've got vSphere 7.0 Update 3 as the minimum to get started here. And then obviously we're using vSAN for the VMs and container storage. And then the PowerScale is used as the data lake. And we're using NVIDIA AI Enterprise to bring all of this together and validate it together. So it's a high level of what you get by going through one of these validated designs. And part of this is some of the new features. We have to explain and help our customers understand what's new, why do I care, and what is in it for me. You know, a common feature with the new GPUs is multi-instant GPU, also known as MIG. This allows me to break down a A30 or an A100 into several smaller components that can be given out to containers and virtual machines where I can guarantee performance and quality of service so that solution already always gets the required resources it needs. Ultimately, I can do your traditional temporal partitioning where I request a slice of GPU in terms of resources, and as and when that GPU is able to fulfill that request, that job will then be submitted to the GPU and executed on. We can have multi VMs running with GPUs and connect them all together to run a multi-node using GPU direct RDMA. And from a storage perspective, we can even use accelerators to speed up the access of storage data on that data lake using GPUs and PowerScale. An example of why Dell gets so involved with this is, as we go back to the first point here, the multi-instant GPU MIG, during our testing and validation, we took an average inferencing job. Now, if you give an inferencing job to a GPU, it's only going to use a percentage of it. About 50–60% of that GPU could be consumed. And so you're really underutilizing those GPUs because you've got a lot of wasted time going on there. But using that same GPU, an A100 in this example, and using the partitions, we were able to take that one job and run 7 of those jobs, all with that guaranteed performance, and get more than double the performance out of that single GPU than giving the whole GPU to one single job. And that's really a benefit of what our engineering teams go through to really build these best practices and recommendations. And what brings the whole solution together is the NVIDIA AI Enterprise. What this provides is the necessary infrastructure optimization with our vGPUs, the ability to configure and provide high-speed GPU access. We've got our NVIDIA Magnum IO and NVIDIA CUDA-X AI. Some more options for being able to accelerate the environment, all running on vSphere with Tanzu. Then we have our operators that we need to use with the containers, and that's the GPU operator and the network operator, all part of the NVIDIA AI Enterprise. And then we have a suite of technologies to get you started. Everyone is familiar pretty much with TensorFlow or PyTorch. They're two very common data scientist languages, environments. But NVIDIA Rapids is a way of bringing all of that together and providing a more functioned workflow end-to-end as part of that. And then we have NVIDIA TensorRT and Triton Inferencing Server. These technologies help you get started with training, and they're all part of the NVIDIA AI Enterprise, and the validated designs that we deliver have these validated and tested. One of the unique things about this product is the ability to have this fully supported. But I've said enough here. It's best for Dell to explain from its customer's perspective. University of Pisa in Italy, they wanted to support massive increase in new and emerging high performance workloads. And so to do that using a simple platform and management they can increase the system utilization, thus reducing costs, and be able to extend the power of GPUs with that. The Miami Dolphins, using VxRail and PowerScale, were able to take a top scores for game day experience enhancement for the audience to take a longer life cycle on their storage using PowerScale, reduce the recovery time, and in thus doing so, saved over $1.2 million in this process. And so why use Dell? We have executive briefing centers and solution centers with unmatched expertise, providing you a choice. We can collaborate with these centers. We can explore demos, understand pilots. We can innovate with the Innovation Lab, and we can accelerate with our centers throughout the world. We have a number of services and financing options that we can help you with. And Dell Technologies provides all of its content, its validated designs that my team works on the infohub.delltechnologies.com. And if you click on workload solutions, you can then select AI and data analytics and container platforms. I'd like to thank you for listening to this VMUG, and thank you.